Welcome back to the virtual court where you are the judge.
Counsel, are we ready for closing arguments?
Your Honor, I have two more critical pieces of information. Both weigh heavily on this case, the family service contract and the court order, as well as information about worker training and testing.
Your Honor, is this vital? The state rests. I'm appalled by the way the state has been presented. We do good work. We care about children and families.
Overruled.
I want to talk about the family service contract. If you ever dealt with the Department of Social Services, you know about the family service contract. The harsh truth is, you really can't fight City Hall, but that doesn't mean we should stop trying. These contracts, meant to help families, often become tools of separation. They're part of a larger system that includes flawed court orders and unlicensed workers making life-altering decisions. You know, the thing about the family service contract is they can use it against you and take your children, but if they fail on the contract, there is no way for you to do anything about that. I think that family service contracts should be attached to the court order to keep workers more honest. Did you know that many workers do not have a license? Now, you need a license to do hair or drive a car, but to take someone's children, you don't need one. The states try to get away with having licensed workers by saying that they're supervised by licensed workers. But those workers, the supervisors don't go out in the field. So it's all about that worker's judgment, really. I tried to report the two workers who were on the case, and neither one of them had license. They were what we call human service workers, which means that they can have a degree in math. It doesn't make any sense. If a worker doesn't have a license, that means that the only person you can go for is the state. Good luck. I started my career in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, when they had money to fight the state, but they still never won. I mentioned this before. The only thing I can say is that them fighting helps keep the system honest. I'll give you a quick example. There's a hospital called Harbor Hospital. It's a feeder hospital. It takes care of patients in Anne Arundel County, in Baltimore County, and Baltimore City. So let's say one baby from each jurisdiction came in testing positive for marijuana. What would happen? Well, it depends on what jurisdiction you live in. And it shouldn't, but it does. If you live in Anne Arundel County, they'll do what they call invalidate the report. That means they won't even take it. They know that this Anne Arundel County mother has a doula or somebody who's prescribing her marijuana, and they pick their cases wisely because they know in Anne Arundel County that everybody is going to fight them, and they can't afford to fight everybody. So no, they're not going to take the case when that child, in Anne Arundel comes in positive for marijuana. In Baltimore County, they will accept the case and come out and do an investigation and make sure the child is all right, and maybe do infants and toddlers to make sure that the child, as an exposed to the drug, is, doesn't have any developmental delays. In Baltimore City, they will just remove your child. I know because I work there. And I was ashamed of how different they handle cases in Anne Arundel County than they do in Baltimore City. But knowledge is power. By sharing these experiences, we can raise awareness about these systemic issues, push for accountability in child welfare agencies, advocate for fair family-centered practices. There's a new law called the Family First Law, but It's a law, but they haven't started really putting it into practice yet. I say you shouldn't let anyone who claims to be a social worker in your house unless they show you a license to practice. Not their state ID. Anyone can have a state ID. And to be honest, I don't even know if you can refuse. They would call the police and force their way in. That's how powerful the state is. And it's unfortunate that, they could not have the proper credentials, yet they could come into your life and wreak havoc and get away with it. I guess the only thing we could ask is how can we turn this knowledge into action? What changes would make these contracts truly serve families? How can we turn this knowledge into action? What changes would make these contracts truly serve a family? As I said earlier, I think that the contract should be attached to the court order. Follow for my final part as we dive deeper into the power dynamics at play and explore potential solutions.
This is case number 1111. Shauna Stewart and family versus the State of Maryland and Child Protective Services.
The law is all about finding loopholes. It's like playing a game with lots of goals. Lawyers and judges, they all know the tricks. They can make a case disappear with a few flicks. Finding loopholes, it's what we do. We make the law work for me and you. From divorce to real estate, we'll make sure we get our slice of the cake. It's all about the wording and the phrasing. The loopholes we find are simply amazing. We'll twist and turn, bend those to make sure we come out on top. Not the fools, finding loopholes, it's what we do. We make the law work for me and you. From divorce to real estate, we'll make sure we get a slice of the cake. The virtual jury, my companions in this quest.
Overruled.